and welcome to another Cup of Jess episode. And today I feel honored because we have one of the founders of the media network, Nushin. Nushin, thank you so much for being here. Honestly, Nushin has been an important person in my life since I started the business, social media, all that good stuff, and making sure that I am consistent and staying on top of my social media posts and what I need to be doing and what's trending, right? So welcome, Nushin.
And what you're not doing. And I'm very proud of you, by the way. You're doing amazing. Love to see your growth and all that you do. And we also run your podcast.
Exactly. So if you guys have ever wondered why or how does Jasenia do it in running a podcast, is because we have these wonderful ladies behind the scenes that run it all. So yes, Nushin. So thank you so much for joining me today.
And it's not always that easy, is it? It's
No.
not. I think this podcasting makes it easier so you don't have to do so much crazy social media, right? All those
Correct.
crazy like trends and getting the office together to do social media for you is really hard.
No, and the funny thing is that as well, social media is changing because there was a point where, hey, you need to do this, you need to do funny videos, and now it's like, no more funny videos. You need to be in front of the camera speaking about what you're doing, who's the owner, and what services you offer.
Yeah.
So here we have you. So talk to us.
And obviously I say that always those fun and the trending stuff is fillers, right? Because at the end of the day, you can make a few people laugh or like engage, but you still need to have the organic, who are you? What is the business? And a podcast is obviously very perfect for that because you get to talk about important key things that bring you business, bring you clients,
Correct.
or people find you that way. So it goes hand in hand with social media 100%. I think it makes it easier for business owners.
Right.
But today, Jasenia, we have a special topic, right?
Exactly. That's something that goes hand in hand because there's a reason some people level up fast and others stay stuck forever, right? Or stuck for years, depending on what they're doing, their businesses. And it's not always their talent, it's maybe their environment. So if everybody around you is comfortable being average, eventually you'll normalize average too. So that's very important. So you always need people in your life that are building businesses, taking risks, making moves, thinking bigger. The whole mindset changes, right? So today we're talking about your circle. Either does it stretch you or does it shrink you?
Right.
So Nushin, in your life, has there been a person, someone that has gotten you out of your comfort zone?
Yeah. I would say definitely would be my dad. Obviously, he is an entrepreneur. He is like, my mom's an entrepreneur too, but my dad is more grit. Like, it's like, you have to do this way, and you have to do it this way. You have to do your, like, when I say grit, like, it's like you've got to start from the bottom and crawl your way to the top type of thing. So I've learned a lot of like the humble side of owning a business and learning how to do things yourself. And you don't have money to pay for this or pay for that. And you've got to do all of these things. You've got to clean your own toilets, in your own business. Like, there's no housekeeper. There's no someone coming in as a cleaning service.
Correct.
So 100%, I would say I've learned the grind of it from my dad. But I will say, as this topic of this show, that I feel like when I transitioned into myself and what I wanted to do, my purpose, my passion, which was social media, being around other entrepreneurs and other people doing their thing and doing that same hustle is what motivates me and what motivated me. Like you, for instance, I feel like we gravitated toward each other because we were kind of on that same path, doing those same things, trying to grow our businesses. And we fed off of each other, which is great chemistry when you're working with somebody, because if you don't, right, I think that's when you feel like, this person's doing nothing for me. I have to change my environment.
Right. And that is huge, because if you don't have people like that around you, then how is your goals, how are your dreams gonna be accomplished, right? And that's something that whenever I started my business, social media was the thing. Like, when did we start? Like 2023, 2022?
No, I feel like it was 2022.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2022. And that's whenever the hype was, like the wave. And you were like, hey, you got to get on it. And I was like, hey, let's do it. I remember that the first couple of times that we met, you were like, okay, bring like 3 to 4 sets of clothes. And I would be like, why? And then I wouldn't understand.
Because social media says we have to.
Yes, exactly. And then we would go to different places, different restaurants, and it's now that I think about it, we've been through a lot. Like
Mhm.
it's been a long journey, but we're here now. You have the media network, and we are accomplishing those dreams, and also being on top of that wave.
And I
Which
want to say thank you because you started with us from the beginning and we appreciate that, obviously. Like, listen, it's about believing in, seeing the vision, seeing what, I feel like we're all kind of manifesting together, and when
Mhm.
we start at the same pace and then we watch each other grow, that is motivation. That is something that I feel like it makes me feel like, okay, this person started with me. We're still working together. We're still grinding
Right,
together. We're growing together and we keep influencing each other or motivating each other, whatever it is. And it's not like some people where you get jealous along the way
right.
because sometimes you're just a friend watching and sometimes people can be like, "Well, I'm not doing anything." Like, well, what is she doing over there? Why is she doing these things?
Right.
And it's hard for people to see somebody who maybe they started here with, but now you're at a different level and they don't want that same thing for you, you know?
And you outgrow people. You
Mhm.
outgrow situations, business partners, friendships, and things like that. And I feel like if you are giving advice and you are sticking to it, like obviously you've told me before, hey, you need to start doing these types of videos, or make sure you're not doing X, Y, and Z, and you follow through. And vice versa, whenever you come and tell me, hey, I'm starting this new project, or for example, we work together at the nonprofit
Mhm.
foundation, right? So it's something that who's there supporting you, either in person, sharing, and also telling you, hey, what can I do for you to support you, right?
Right.
And that's something that even with events, like we share events, we show up to our events, and we've had so many events.
Yeah.
We've always been there
And
supporting.
evolved, right? We've watched each other evolve and we're like, okay, this, like, wow, remember when we did that? Remember when we
Yeah.
did that? I mean, some things when everything is not the greatest, but it gets you to where you are today. And
Right.
I think some of that stuff is like what we talked about is like being around people that motivate us because obviously people are watching. Obviously, we see what other people are doing. And sometimes we're like, we could do that. Or, someone else can say, wow, I could do that too.
Right.
And that is social media. And I feel like with business, if you aren't doing that, you can't grow,
Right.
right? I mean, even if you have a partnership or the people you work with in your business, the people you hire, if they don't come in motivated, if they don't come in ready to work, you've got to change the energy up. It just
Right.
affects everybody.
Yeah, making sure that they love and have a passion of what you're doing or what you're building. Your team has to be on board, and that's something I always share in my team meetings. I'm like, hey, we all have to row the same direction, because if we are all over the place, there we're not going to get to where we're heading. So that's something that is very important to me, that I have to pay attention. Who are the people around me, how they make me think, how they make me feel, and make sure that I'm dreaming bigger, right? So and trust me, I've had so many people around me that I no longer speak to them, talk to them, and it's all good, and I wish them well, but it's just they're no longer,
Yeah,
I
agree
would
there.
say, vibing with me. I
Hmm.
don't know if that's the right word, but because then you sound like you're bragging about something, right? So
Yeah.
you have to keep up with it. Like, and
Yeah.
that's something that when we meet, we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Okay, how are we making it happen? Like, we're always putting goals and also dates, right?
Mhm.
Like, when are we gonna accomplish this? And even the people around us. And the reason why I bring up so much the nonprofit is because we have also an amazing group of people. You have a purpose foundation that also think the same, and I love it. Like we just had a recent meetup, and everybody's so motivated. We had people crying, just the difference that the foundation is making.
Right.
So
And having that circle, because I believe that like we said, we all kind of started at the same time. And there's certain people that I still want to be around and to involve them in these certain things. And there's others that I don't, because I have these friends for these things and I have these friends for those things, because I know that I need people that are going to be there, that are going to help me get things done. Right.
right.
Because obviously if we all sit around and we don't get anything done and we're just at happy hour drinking,
Correct.
like we're not growing.
And that's something that I've learned too, is that networking. Networking is crucial.
Yeah.
I no longer say yes to everything, because you know me back in the day. And I feel like once you start a business, you say yes to everything: clients, networking, partnerships, or collaboration. And it is very important that you are intentional about these events. So let's say you get invited to a networking event. Does it bring you benefit? I mean, your time is money. You have families, you have kids, you have, your parents. I know a lot of business owners that are now having to take care of their parents as well. Actually, there was a study that now the group of age between 30 to 50, they're not only taking care of their kids, but they're also taking care of their parents. So going back to being intentional on where we stand is, okay, if I'm going to say yes to this networking event, what is the benefit? Am I going to get new clients? Am I going to get new collaborations? And collaboration means that, hey, maybe Nushin invites me to an event, bet she's going to introduce me to her network, right? Or vice versa. Like if she's going to come to me, hey, maybe I know somebody that needs a podcast, needs social media consulting. So that is something that we have to be very intentional about.
Right. Because you're sacrificing time away from your family. You're sacrificing time away from your business. There's so many different avenues with that. And I think you're absolutely right when it comes to that, because at the end of the day, like you can go meet with your friends and go to happy hour.
Right.
Right. That is very, like everybody knows, once you get a business, happy hour is probably once a month if you're lucky.
Yes.
If you're lucky, because when you sit there, that is just to decompress from all the business things. And that's your socializing time to just be whatever you want to be. But when you're actually meeting up with the group of women that are the business, friends or whatever, you're going to sit there and strategize.
Correct.
You're going to talk about the networking opportunities or what's going on. And that is more of a motivating session, I think. That's always talking about goals and what are you doing now and what's going on and how. And if those women aren't encouraging you.
And there's no envy too.
Yes, exactly what I was going to say. If they're not encouraging you, motivating you, or talking about, wow, the success of this, or how can we work together to do something, then they don't get invited back, obviously. Correct. Because you didn't leave feeling good, right?
Correct.
Because that time is valuable.
Right.
100% is valuable.
And for me, I always tell my team too, if they're my friends, they're going to understand. They're not going to just show up at the office or call and say like, oh, I'm her friend. Like I need to talk to her. Like, no, if you are my real friend, they understand that my time is valuable. And they understand that if it's an urgency, like they text me 911.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't take advantage of it, because then it's like 911.
Even sometimes when I text you, I'm like, Jasenia, this one I need you to respond to.
Yes. And that's something that friends understand, that colleagues understand that. So it is important, but we like to have fun though.
Yeah.
We love our happy hours.
You still gotta have fun. Like, I think that's the level of like, because even the friends that are not in the same element as you, which is okay, they don't want to hear about all that. And I get that. Like, they don't want to hear about, oh, I'm going to Vegas next week because I've got a training, or, this or that. They're like, well, I'm stuck at work and I have to, or I'm not,
or they're like, are you going to go party? I'm like, no, I need to be back up and going the next day. So.
Right. And those are the ones that you're like, I want to talk about just maybe a trip that we're going on, or, certain things. It's just strictly fun.
And don't take me wrong. Like, I would love to we've talked about it, like just go on a trip and just disconnect, because you have to do that too. But it's funny because whenever you go and have that circle, you can't disconnect. It's like, oh, have you thought about
No,
this? And
no.
what about this idea?
Your
And
phone's, you're getting texts. You're definitely doing something on your phone. That is definitely, there's no putting the phone down. It's not, maybe a little content, but it's always going to be something. Your business always comes first, no matter, what people think. It's just like, it pays the bills. It does what it
yes.
does. Or if you have clients, if it's bringing you money, it's got to be your baby. And so with that, I always say, clients, when you first start a business, I think you also you're a lot more available
Right.
to those clients, right?
Yes.
At first you're like, oh yeah, I'll take the call. It's, what is it? 7:00 at night. Hello. Hi. Yeah. How can I help you? All these different things.
Call me anytime.
Yeah.
I got you.
No problem. What? They didn't get to you. I got this. And then later it becomes, wait, now I have 30 clients, 100 clients, whatever it is. And I'm not that same person that can be there for that every waking hour.
I'm glad you touched that subject, because it's honestly something that it's kind of like a breakup, because for me, it's happening now.
Mhm.
I'm at the point where I don't have 100 clients. I have thousands of clients.
Mhm.
And now creating systems, putting systems in place, having the team, building other leaders in the business has given me that breakup feeling, because the clients I'm literally like telling everyone, like, no, I'll take care of him. And then he's like, no, let me take care of him,
Yeah.
and you stay over there. And I'm like, okay, it's hard, but this is how you build businesses, right? Unless you want to be working for your business forever, then continue serving clients like one-on-one and answering the phone and wearing all these hats. But if you are trying to build a business and have an exit strategy, you have to put policies and procedures and your structure.
Yeah, I mean, you have to see it from
And
both sides. And I
systems.
think you understand that, like, you make friends in the business, right? Your
Right.
clients become your friends, and they have to understand too, you're still running a business.
Correct.
And even though that you're going to take 100% care of them, and, you also have boundaries. And
Right.
they also have to know that, like, now I have, 10 more of you, and I just can't get to you, but my assistant will be glad to, help or whatever.
Right.
But it always reminds me of this time that we had a parent call us for a volleyball camp that we had, and her daughter was in the camp or whatever. And she registered the daughter and called and asked about the camp, and was, 100% all on board with it. Well, it turns out they had to go out of town and they needed to cancel the camp. And so she had her assistant call. And I think my dad answered at the time. It was like, hey, I'm so-and-so's assistant, and she needs to cancel her daughter's camp and would like to get a refund, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, have her call me. like if she would like a refund, she needs to call me and we can discuss it, because there's rules, there's these guidelines behind the refund or whatever. And he's like, hey, so-and-so called, and her assistant called to talk to me. And I was like, yeah, okay. She's probably busy and her assistant is just handling it. Well, no, if she's, if she called to set, put her in the camp, she can call to cancel it. And then I said, if her assistant had called you to set the daughter up for the camp, would you have taken taken her up through the assistant? He's like, yeah. Okay, then what's the difference than the
Right.
assistant canceling? Because that was money coming in, but it's money going out.
That's true.
You're like offended, and now you're like, no, she needs to call or whatever. But had the assistant called to buy something, to pay for something, to do something for somebody,
That is such a good
you
point.
would take the money.
Right.
You would be like, oh, glad to talk to you. Yeah, thank you. Tell her, okay, tell her thank you. We'll see her. Hopefully we'll see her at the camp, or
Right.
whatever. But when it was the moment of you talk to her and then now she's having the assistant, you feel disconnected. Like you want something, or you
Right.
can't talk to me.
Even with me today, I had a client cancel, and he always reaches out to me directly. And he's one of our CFO members. And he's like, no, we'll see each other the 26th. I'm like, okay, perfect. And then this morning, the assistant sent me a message and they're like, oh, like he can't come into the appointment. And I'm like, at first I was like, well, why didn't he just text me? And I was like, okay, Jasenia, CEO mindset,
Mhm.
CEO
Yeah,
mindset.
exactly.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. When would you like to reschedule?
It is. I mean, I totally can see that because it would be like if I was texting you, right? And the
Right.
friendship that we have, and then your assistant sends me a message like she can't make it. I'm like, what the, you know? But it's like you
Knowing
do.
Nushin, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
for
you
sure.
do.
She'll be
You
like that.
definitely have to be like, okay, she must have been really busy that her assistant had to deliver the
Yes.
message. But then maybe put yourself in that element and say, she's paying the assistant. Let the
Correct.
assistant do the job.
Correct. Because if it was me, like in my situation, sometimes I'm busy with clients and I'll be like, hey, so and so, can you please like reach out to Nisha and tell her I'm running late or something? Then that works, right? But then maybe you would have been like, why can't Jasenia just text me directly,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's
what
definitely
happens.
both sides to it. And I think it's just you didn't start that way. So you definitely have to explain to the person,
Yes.
don't get your feelings hurt, but this is what it is now.
So what do you think is worse, failing in business or never being around people who push you to even try?
I think we know the answer to that always is failing. Failing because if you don't try, you wouldn't know. You could be a huge success, but failing would just teach you that you learned something and you got to try again to do better.
And that's true because technically you have to have inner willingness to want to, like, for
To
me,
take the next step.
there's no chance of me just like giving up.
Yeah.
You know, there's for me, whenever people ask me like, how do you do it? How do you keep going? Is because I don't have an option. I have to get up every day. And my motto, like my thing is like, you show up every day. Like you show up, and I might show up late, but hey, I'm working on that time management.
But I think that's at the end of the day is the mindset.
Yes,
and that is
it's
one
the
thing
mindset.
that is like, that's another thing that goes on this topic about the people you hang around. It's a mindset because I'm not going into it thinking I'm going to fail. I'm not
Correct.
failing. I'm going to win. Like there's no other option here.
And then if I don't win, it's like, what do I do? What
What's
do I
next?
need to do to win next time? So yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
But Nushin, thank you so much for being here. I am so excited just because, you know, we've been doing
It's like
working.
happy hour.
Yes, it's like we've been working together, and she's been behind the scenes and she's been pushing me, even though like there's days that you don't, you know, you're like tired, but once you get going, it's that push and you get things accomplished. So I appreciate you.
Yes.
So let's cheer to a cup of jazz.
Yes, I got a different cup.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Love
See
ya.
y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.